Chances are nothing will ever change. Far too many jobs would be at stake. Secret armies watch us day and night. Far too few sitting for Buddha's sake. But all's illusion. We are one.
This here is a letter sent to Keith Lindsay Cameron, 99, Ash Grove, Peacedown, St John, Bath, North East, Somerset, BAE 8EF. David Cameron, 20 Downing Street, London, SW1 A 2AA. 29th September, 2013. Dear Mr. Cameron, you certainly are making work pay. I see the Department for Works and Pensions has brought out a handy little advice sheet for employers. Universal credit works for employers. How does it affect my business? Universal credit will have a positive effect on your business, as you will find it easier to fill any job, as more job seekers will be willing to consider short-term or irregular work. Talk about selling people off to the lowest bidder, terrorizing people through enforced distribution to fill destitution. I shall repeat that. Talk about selling people off to the lowest bidder, terrorizing people through enforced destitution to fill any job, regardless of pay and conditions. The mind-numbing, soulless brutality of it is beyond belief. As we've seen through Atos, you have no concern or consideration for whether people are sick, disabled, or critically dying. With total disregard for people's lives and well-being, you are with brutal cruelty driving people into the ground to force them into any meaningless, pointless job that comes along. The National Housing Federation has found that half the people from whom the bedroom tax is being extorted have fallen into debt. This enforced misery and despair to control the lives of the poorest and most vulnerable is the real sickness in the UK today. The entire benefit system has been turned into a vile, punitive system to control the poor by people who want for nothing and who actually believe it is their right to punish the poor and control their lives in such an obscene and brutal way. When Lord Freud said people who are poorer should be prepared to take the biggest risks. They've got least to lose. Little did he realise that included people's lives. But that is the reality of your war on the poor. Signed, one might presume from the signature, by Kieth. I don't know whether you can see that. But anyway, there you go. I'm going to get back to this, I think. At this point in time, there are approximately 500,000 vacancies on the UK jobs market. And those jobs are always there, really, because people are changing from one job to another. They're going out of one employment and then finding another job and going into that. And that's always been there. That figure has always been there. Strangely enough, at the moment, I think it's around the 400,000 level of vacancies in the United Kingdom. So the amount of vacancies have actually dropped. The Conservatives may have said they're creating more jobs and have created 1 million jobs, or whatever it is that they say they've created. But the fact of the matter is, are they going to create, what's the figure? Was it 1.5 million by 2016? I'm not sure on that, but where are these jobs coming from? Are they going to be those jobs that are poor, that Kieth talks about? People sold off to the lowest bidder. That's got to be, a form of slavery. It's gone out. Bloody cigarettes. Well looked. Yes, so there's 500,000 vacancies, but there's 2.5 million people looking for those vacancies. And the thing is, Cameron also wants, about 1.5 million other people that are disabled working. So that means there's 4 million people running after the 400,000 vacancies that exist in the UK. But those vacancies are more or less the majority of them are on a cyclical sort of thing where a person goes into, lose one employment and moves into another. So that means, like my friend Oz says, there's 4 million people running around like headless chickens, trying to find employment and being victimised and persecuted and, run down for it. It's terrible. It's a pain. It's like, sick. And these people that are running the country this way are very ill. Then you've got the people at us now. That is a job creation scheme for the people that are working there, really. There is absolutely no need for those people at us. There's no need for all of these halfway house job agencies, because that's what they are. They're a middleman, and it's just job creation. They don't need to be there. Oh, yeah, it makes me wonder how much job creation there really is. It's ridiculous. Job creation, bureaucracy for the running of the country. It's an insanity of the system. We are forced to actually live in a system where those that are unemployed and searching for jobs on on benefits are lost in the system. This monetary economic system that's governed by people like George Osborne. I shouldn't laugh really, because just I can close my eyes and picture him, and just, as I can camera, but I don't want to close my eyes and picture somebody that's obviously quite unsane, So these people are what the natural law resource-based economy people believe now, really, through research and obvious, looking at the situation globally, the unemployment situation globally. These people, these unemployed people, are not just unemployed, they're technologically unemployed, because technology has replaced humans in the workforce for hundreds of years, well, thousands, if you want to include the wheel. So technology always puts people out of work, and that's what's happening at the moment. There's been a mad rush in the development of technology, but even that mad rush in the development of technology is limited, because that research and that development has to be paid for with funding, or money from somewhere, usually grabbed out of thin air, money that doesn't exist. So this reality that we're living in, to me, is pretend. We're not actually in control of the reality that we're all living in, and neither, well, they think they're in control, these political global leaders, but they're not, are they? They're just going with the flow, using up the resources of the planet as fast as they can, producing rubbish, really. As far as technology being held back is concerned, the reason for that is money. You have to pay the people to do the research, and then they then have a lifestyle for themselves dependent upon the money that they get. But it all holds back the technological development, which could be benefiting the whole of humanity instead of just the elite Phew. Phew. As far as the housing is concerned, yeah, we live in reasonable housing conditions. I'm in a council house with a blocked up nose, but never mind. And I've been content here for years. But should I have to move because of the bedroom tax, because as far as I know, we're not paying it at the moment, but I don't know how long that's going to last. But I've lived here for 20 years. I've looked after my garden and the house internally, and the council paints it every 5 or 10 years or whatever it might be. So really, should anybody like me that might be able to have a reasonable lifestyle when he's retired and actually have enough money to pay his own rent, have to pay bedroom tax on top. When, the council house that you've lived in all your life, more or less, or for a third of my life anyway, why should we pay for it at all? Why can't we have the spare bedroom like this bedroom is? A computer room, a study for me. Well, Cameron's got his study, hasn't he? I bet. Why can't I have a study? But the house should be free. The only thing that we should pay for as pensioners is probably decorating the outside, which needs doing. But probably won't be done for another 3 or 4 years, if not more, if ever. So the bedroom tax is just a con, really. They just want to make money out of us, which is the merry-go-round, going round in circles all the time. Money to you. And when you work it out, there's that much debt in the world that all the money that's there, which is something like 3% of the actual digitalised computer money, there's only 3% of real money floating around in the world. All the rest is on a computer screen. So where's all the money coming to pay off? Is almost, as far as the UK is concerned, £500 trillion debt that we have. And the UK, not the UK, the USA, our good old buddies over there, they've gone way over 16 trillion, and closer to 17 trillion. So where's the money coming to pay all that lot off? But the world is, supposedly $400 trillion, I think it is, in debt. My figures are off the top of my head. I read them somewhere, perhaps, but I might be wrong. It might be 800 trillion for all I know. I think it might be. But anyway, it's all rubbish. How's the world going to pay for all this debt? So, when poor old pensioners go into debt, perhaps over bedroom tax, really, the debt is a fiction. And what was the other thing? Let me have a look. Just oh yeah, the entire benefit system, according to Kieth, has turned into a vile, punitive system to control the poor by people who want for nothing. In other words, Cameron's a rich bugger, isn't he? And who actually believe it is their right to punish the poor and control their lives in such an obscene and brutal way. And so are all the bully boys. And it's a fact that this benefit system is shortening lives. But that's what they want. They want us to kick the bucket as soon as possible anyway. They're not bothered about us. And as for Freud at the bottom of the letter, Freud says, people who are poor, can't do his face, should be prepared to take the biggest risks. They've got the least to lose. Well, when you think about it, that's a pretty, I think he was a conservative. I'm not quite sure now. I think he was. It's a pretty nasty thing to say, isn't it? Take it out on the poor. They've got the least to lose. Shh. So, when the poor have lost everything, when the technologically unemployed have lost everything, and there's that many unemployed that on benefits. Benefit? Who does benefits benefit then? That's what I want to know. That doesn't really benefit the rich. Anyway, back to Sigmund. No, not Sigmund. His son or grandson, the conservative, I think he was. He said that, that disgusting, thing. They've got the least to lose. You do know this whole system, nationally, globally, is corrupt. Cameron sells weapons, and Obama with his war machine that employs a few thousand people. The whole of the war machine could be turned into developing peaceful things instead of things that are going to go bang. What a waste of time, effort, money. But, money's not there really, because money is debt. I was going to say something about Freud, wasn't I? Freud was related to this American PR man, and the PR man followed the thoughts of Freud, really. So, Lord Freud must have known something of, I think it was his grandfather's works in psychoanalysis and crap like that, working out why people do what they do. But the main reason people do what they do and live the lives that they lead is the system that we're in, this reality of having to have money to survive, when we could be sharing everything, sharing our effort to provide for all humans all over the planet, everywhere, in every nation. When there's a disaster, then instead of them starving for months and not having the resources to help them get over the disaster, as it is now in Haiti and Pakistan, where there have been floods, bad floods, where people have in Pakistan plastic tents of not even tents, but just plastic sheets at the side of the road, and lived in appalling conditions, really, for months on end. Yeah, over a year, and probably still are, because it's sort of disappeared out of the mass media news, and was barely covered by the mass media news. We don't want to know what Pakistani people are suffering, do we? We only want to know what we're suffering, I suppose. But anyway, I've waffled on and got nowhere, really. This system needs to be changed. It needs to become a different system and a different way of doing things. And earlier on I mentioned a natural or resource-based economy, and that's what everybody needs to look into. They need to be brave enough to have a look what it's all about, instead of not looking at anything apart from X Factor and Coronation Street and East End and whatever else they watch for entertainment, when really, what are you getting out of it in the long run? Entertainment. What's the long-term goal of entertainment? We have to sort of look at the long-term goal of our existence, our being in the world, and we have to look at exactly what we're doing to it, and probably more than anything else, how long we do have left as a species on this planet.
Chances are nothing will ever change. Far too many jobs would be at stake. Secret armies watch us day and night. Far too few sitting for Buddha's sake. But all's illusion. We are one.